Shalom, shalom. Kahalayim la Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Chakadash. Peace and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Touching on a quick topic with this lesson. And the title of this lesson is going to be something along the lines of He is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, not Sarah, Rebekah, and Rachel. Okay, and this is going to be based off an interaction that we had on the highways yesterday. All right, Saturday. I was in the city pushing with the men of valor. Akim, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshai Chakadash Brakatama to them, to those diligent brothers. And we came across some individuals that were basically allegedly Amalekites, but, you know, they could be Israelite foreigners too, based off the interaction we had. But, you know, the Lord is going to do the sifting at the end of the day. But point being that they had made a mention, because in that doctrine, that Ish doctrine, right, of the small hat doctrine, they believe that the mother is what determines the seed. Okay, which couldn't be further from the truth. Now, first of all, again, how many times in the scriptures is he known as the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? If it was according to the mother, why would he be known as the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? Even in today's world, when a man has children, they take his last name, not the mother's. Why is that? Because naturally, it's really, among a lot of people, it is known already. But it's just certain people are into these doctrines and we have to reprove it. But if you ask a lot of people, they'll say, yeah, the seed, you know, goes according to the father. But a lot of people are also confused. They think that it's both. It has to be the father and the mother. You know, like you ain't so-called black unless both of your parents are so-called black, according to a lot of people. But in reality, if your father is an Israelite, all right, then you're an Israelite. And it's that simple. It doesn't matter if your mother's a heathen. It doesn't matter if your mother's an Edomite. You know, it doesn't matter what nation your mother's from. What matters is the nation your father's from, because that's what determines your nationality. So I'm going to just grab a few precepts to substantiate that. Lord's will is to be edifying. Numbers 1:18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward, by their polls. Yep. So it said their pedigrees. Let's look up the word pedigree. See what it says. See, our nation, the nation of Israel, is a patriarchal society. Patriarchal deals with the fathers. Okay. And when you go into the word pedigree, okay, let's see what it says. Pedigree. Okay, yep, they declared their pedigree. It says, Strong's definition, it says Yalad. Okay. Yep, Yalad. It says to bear young, causatively to begat, medically to act as midwife, specifically to show lineage. You see? So the lineage is according to what? The lineage is according to the fathers, which we just read it. Okay? You bear me 1 second, Baba. So another precept, Ezekiel 34:31. And ye my flock, the flock of my pasture, are men, and I am your power, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. See? Are men. Okay, the flock of his pasture are men. The Lord is truly dealing with the men of the nation of Israel. And through the men, through the preaching of this word, which the Spirit is upon men to do so, all right, there's going to be men and women that are also going to be blessed. But it starts with the elect, and it starts with the men. In the priesthood, in the Levitical priesthood, you couldn't have a woman serve as a priest. You only could have men. Because, again, this is a patriarchal society, man. All right. This is a patriarchal nation. That's how the Lord deals. Okay. Acts 2:29. Men and brethren, let me freely speak unto you of the patriarch David, that he is both dead and buried, and his sepulchre is with us unto this day. Right. But the point being, patriarch. Okay. Oh, here's another one. Acts 7:8. And he gave him the covenant of circumcision. And so Abraham begat Isaac and circumcised him the 8th day. And Isaac begat Jacob. And Jacob begat the 12 patriarchs. You see? The 12 patriarchs. How is it the 12 tribes of Israel? Is that based off women? No, that's based off men. All of those names of the Israelites, if you're a Judite, if you're a Benjaminite, if you're a Reubenite, if you're an Asherite, if you're an Issacharite, if you're a Naphthalite, if you're from any of the tribes, a Levite, a Gadite, all right, that's all going back to the names of men. Okay, that's why it says in the 9th verse, and the patriarchs moved with envy, sold Joseph into Egypt, but Yahweh Shem Yahushua was with them. All right, and that's a beautiful account. Okay, it shows that, if the Lord is with you, who can be against you? In essence, and also that we need salvation because even our forefathers, committed wickedness at times, But it was really for a higher purpose, anyways, for there to be a deliverance at the end of it. Okay, but staying on point to the topic. All right, Jacob begat the 12 patriarchs. So this is what it's all about, the patriarchs, man. Now, when we go into Matthew, the first chapter, okay, Matthew 1:1, the book of the generation of Yahushua HaMashiach, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Why did it not mention the women? None of this whole chapter goes into it, and I think it only mentions one woman, which was Obed of Ruth. All right, because that's a well-known story. But other than that, it's all going into what? The men. All right, this whole chapter is about the lineage of men. Or well, I say the first, like basically half of the chapter. Okay, because that is what determines your lineage. Okay, the 12 tribes. Even when we go to Revelation, man. Revelation, the 7th chapter. Okay, when it mentions all these different tribes, the 12,000 out of the 12 tribes, all right, it mentions Judah, Reuben, Gad, Asher, Naphtali, Manasseh. All of those names are the names of men, patriarchs. And this is what the nation of Israel consists of. Okay, when you look on the highways and hedges, the brothers that's fervently pushing, who is it? It's men. Okay, but you know why they have that doctrine? Because when you go back to during the time of the Maccabees, you have forced so-called conversions, okay, where a lot of Edomites were forced to turn to the way of the law, statutes, and commandments because our forefathers were in power. And they did that, okay? And also going into the time of the Romans, or during the time where Yahushua walked the earth 2,000 years ago, you had certain devils, all right, that they wanted to try to become us, which you can't do that. There's no way. But what they would do is they would have it would be an Edomite male, and he would sleep with an Israelite woman, a so-called black woman. And then what would happen? The child would come out fair skinned, but would have certain Israelite features. But according to the house of his father, he's a devil, or she's a devil. So it all goes according to what? The father, man. Okay. That's why it says this. All right. Yep. Sirach 41:7. The children will complain of an ungodly father because they shall be reproached for his sake. Going back to Esau, man. That's what determines that you are the Edomites. That not because of a woman, but because of the male heritage. And the Lord made a separation. That's why he told Rebekah that there was 2 nations in her womb. All right. That's why Yahweh Shem Yahushua told Rebekah that. All right. What Heavenly Father, through a prophet, told her that. Okay. that there was two nations in her womb, all right, and that they're at enmity because they're separate, and that's according to who? That's Jacob and Esau. Okay, but again, it's all about the fathers, man. It's all about the fathers, and that's why the scriptures say there will be a new thing in the earth: a woman shall compass a man. But what those devils would do back in the ancient times, they would try to slide into being an Israelite on that based off outward appearance. And this is why we say you can't judge off outward appearance. You have to judge off the spirit about who is our people and who isn't. Because you have a lot of people that look like our people, but they actually go back to other nations. Okay? So they would go back, they would try to slide in, and that's where that myth came from. All right? That's where that myth came from, because then they're going to try and say, oh, well, see, we had it was an Israelite woman, so any child that you had, all they got to do is take one of our women and rape them, and all of a sudden they can claim that they're our people. All right, and that's not how it works, man. And that doesn't even make sense. That goes against nature. The man holds a seed. All right, the man holds a seed. A woman, her womb is dead. All right, well, it's alive because she's alive, but the egg is not alive, man. All right, the egg is dead until the sperm hits it, and the sperm is living because it can move on its own. Even outside of the man's body, the sperm can move. So that goes to show that it has what? Life in it, life force. Okay. But, I just wanted to address that because I noticed that is a major part, a major stumbling block. And even our people that are into so-called Christianity, because they follow the small hats, they believe that doctrine themselves. So then they'll say, oh, yeah, the mother is what determines, because that's where the child is inside the mother. So it would only make, but, they always try to rationalize and reason it out, but they're not going according to the knowledge of wisdom and understanding of the scriptures. They're going according to their own understanding. That's a doctrine of men. All right, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and close it out. Call halal yamlai, how ba Hashem Yahushai, ba Hashem Chakadash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, the Wada Yahweh, ba Hashem Yahushai, ba Hashem Chakadash. Lord's will, I'll catch you on the next one. Shalom.